Here's a video about the scrapbook I made about our trip to Romania back in spring of 2014. It's called Toews Romania Adventure. This cover page is just made out of leftover photos that I had from our trip to Romania. Here's the title page. Pretty simple. It just says Romania, March 2014. The A here is silver because I ran out of gold ink or gold stickers because it was my last page. And then here's just an I Love Blank stamp that I got on enjoyit.com from Elise Kripe, and just filled in the blanks with things that I loved about our trip from Romania. This first page is about our time in Bucharest with our friend Robbie, one of Cameron's friends from his dorm. And I just used extra space to journal about the experience. And that first day we just hung out with Robbie and went out to eat, had some pizzas and beer, and got to know Bucharest city a bit. And then he took us to the bus stop, and we took a bus like 7 or 8 hours to Lupeni, where our friends Janelle and Felipe picked us up. This is their view from their apartment in Lupeni, and here's a stamp that I got from my friend in the mail one time. And we just ate traditional Romanian food and had a really good time together. It was a great reunion after like 2 years of not seeing each other. This page is one of my favorites. I really fell in love with these colorful garage doors and love taking pictures in front of it. And here's us eating some street food in Lupeni. There's some shawarma and some langosh, some fried chocolate goodness. Yum. That first day we just toured around Lupeni and just got to know their experience a bit. Journaled a bit about and all the white space. I love using that. There's a friend Emma, and this is Sarah. We were in a book club together at college in our dorm room, which is so cool that I got to see her in Romania of all places. This is their dog named Zakuska, and Felipe being silly. So here is where I just wrote down a blog post that I had written that day about experiencing Lupeni with the Silvas. Talks about how I cried at one point because I was just so happy and it was such a beautiful view and to be with friends. These are some of the Silva's really good friends, and they had us over and made us some candied plums, and this is their cutest daughter. Some of these papers are from the Project Life from Elise Kripe, and then also Elsie Larson. One day we hiked up this mountain, Yergovanului, and the snow was literally like up to my thighs and sometimes, so it was a hard trip, and we did a lot of GoPro, but I made it to the top, which was awesome. This is Zakuska. It's kind of, we just spread it on some bread, and that's also the name of their dog, Zakuska. It's like tomatoey goodness. And here's us at the top. So dirty and cold and windy, but and there's Felipe knocking over his wife. So after that hike the next day on Sunday, we just rested and took some more pictures around town. And then on Thursday we went caving. So this is from a blog post, and this is from a Facebook post. And we were just in this cave with our helmets and headlights and some ropes. And that was basically it. That was really hard. I cried like 5 times because I was so scared, but I made it just as far as everyone else, and that was awesome. We also went to a 3D movie, Need for Speed, so that was cool. Just a weird experience in this foreign country, and we ate a lot of pizza. That's what this talks about, is how much pizza we ate on our trip. Pretty good stuff. Some had scrambled eggs, and this was a terrible drink that I had. It was like really sweet and really gross. And then on Friday we went rock climbing. Janelle and Felipe are really into rock climbing. Some more journaling. They're starting this rock climbing club in Romania called Var Limite. So there's a sticker from that. And we're all wearing their shirts. Branding. Ooh, Romanian food. Just have you get a look at that. Silva beers for the Silvas. This is hot chocolate. And it's really like hot Hershey syrup. It's like really thick. Cool. Some Romanian words for different kinds of like pastries we could get. And just some shots around their house, their apartment. We put these bunk bed mattresses on the floor to sleep. Oh, and here's a random picture of us at church singing worship songs in Romanian. Yeah, we were uncomfortable, but it was a lot of fun. And then we went back over to their friend's house, Marianne, Persida, and Daria. Played some Jenga, read some books. It's really fun. Ate some really good food. So Janelle and Felipe are there to be a part of this impact club. Kind of like a non-religious based youth group. So we went to one of their first meetings, and then we had a barbecue with them and played games and went hiking. This is me off journaling by myself. Ooh, so the second week after church, we went to on this road trip, and this is our first stop. We just drove and found this really beautiful street with all these blossoms, so we stopped there and took lots and lots of pictures. Just highlighting what the money looked like, some coins and some bills. Oops. On a road trip, we also stopped at one of these really old churches. It was built in about maybe the 7th century. It was so beautiful. And we also went to this Untitled Castle. Maybe it's also called Corvin Castle. Really beautiful. So there's a beautiful collage. Cameron in the stocks. Oh, our favorite city in Romania was on a road trip. It's called Sibiu. So this next 6 pages will be about Sibiu. Just how beautiful it is. We call it the perfect European city. So beautiful. I took some time by myself that day too, which was really good for me. I am definitely an introvert. And more about Sibiu. There were all these citadels. So we stopped, we would look up a hill and see the citadel, these old ruins. So we went to a lot of those and stopped. So there's one of them taking awkward selfies. We stayed a night in this town called Sighișoara, up on this hill. It was really beautiful. We stayed in a hostel. We don't really have snails like this in South Dakota, so I took pictures and people thought we were weird, and we, Cameron and I wandered around by ourselves this day. So here's some random shots in Brashov. There's another citadel we went to. One of our road trip partners, Sarah, her family's Jewish, so we went to the synagogue. And then this is called the Black Church. It's called Black Church because it was burned. It was on fire a while. And then here's a random little bunny bead that I found outside the Black Church. So I made it the scrapbook. Here's another citadel. Beautiful, beautiful views. One of our other YouTube videos is us throwing axes, and that's at the citadel. Some random shots in Brashov. And this is the hostel that we stayed at. Here's a castle, Bran Castle. It's also Dracula's castle. Or thought to have been, or reported to be. There's Sarah. She came along with us on this road trip. Peles Castle is so beautiful. We weren't allowed to take pictures inside, so it's just on the outside. But it was very, very magical. And then we drove on to Bucharest for our last stop. We went to the the Museum of Natural History, and I love giraffes. And we said goodbye to Sarah and the Silvas and said hello again to Robbie, and he took us around. We went to this Palace of the Parliament, or Palace of the People. One of our last meals there, we had some hamburgers because we were just getting ready for American food again. And Cameron and I stayed at this hostel, Umbrella Hostel, and that was our room. And then on the plane food, Cameron's exhausted, and one of our flights was delayed because of weather, and so then we missed our last flight home. So that's our hotel in Denver. And then my sister and my niece and my brother-in-law picked us up with this welcome home sign. And here's just a bunch of receipts that we had, map of Bucharest, and just stapled in there. Fun. This is a postcard that we sent to ourselves. We sent a bunch of our friends some postcards from Romania. And, yep, so that's just, I don't know why I sent ourselves ones, just for the experience, I guess. And our itineraries and plane tickets and all that good stuff. And that's it. Our trip was so fun. And I am really glad I put this all in a scrapbook. So I'll post some pictures maybe so you can read all the journaling. And hope you enjoyed.